Are you in the desperate need of making new friends? Don't join a social club. Buy one of these. A pickup truck. And why will that help your social situation? Because you'll be able to help all your new friends move. And if you happen to pick up a Ford F-Series, the most popular pickup truck in North America in the history of the world, there is literally nothing you will not be able to tow, haul, carry, all of the above. Let me tell you a little bit more about this fantastic 2018 F-250 Super Duty Limited pickup truck. A basic 2018 Ford F-250 Super Duty starts at about $38,000, although I'm convinced they don't exist. There are so many options and ways to configure these trucks to make them your own, your work truck, and do exactly what you want it to do is so long that I could make a 5-hour documentary just listing all the configurations for this truck. If you'd like me to do that, write to me and I'll quickly and immediately disregard your email. All right, so my truck, right, is a limited, which is the top trim for the F-250 Super Duty, and the pricing starts at about $86,000. Now, with options on my truck, namely the Must FX4 off-road package with skid plates and all of that, and a few other goodies, brings the price up to $93,000. Is it worth it? This 250, there is nothing it cannot do. So let's begin with a few specs here, or continue, I should say. Those two couches back there, barely scratching the surface of the payload capacity. That is of about 7,600 pounds. And the bed extender? Yes, my friends, it works wonderfully. It's kind of stretched right now, but it's doing exactly its job. Speaking of doing the job, this step is brilliant. See, I can actually do it with one hand. Pull, pop, push, boom. That came in very handy when putting the couches in there. Styling wise, the F-250 is just totally boss. And I can use boss, right, for a Ford. Those 20-inch wheels are beautiful. I like the slate gray, bronze, brown color. Beautiful. LED headlights. This thing just screams machismo, right? Oh, this particularly does that job. As far as features are concerned, included in the Limited, the list is seemingly never ended. You may have gotten that impression at this point, but power moonroof, power running boards, LED headlamps, I just mentioned them, 8-inch screen, adaptive cruise, power telescoping mirrors. These mirrors, I'll show you, it's pretty cool. Power telescoping steering wheel as well. So let's look into that. Here we go. Yes, I absolutely love that. Okay, so you have power pedals. It's a very common feature with the Fords, and they work very well. There's your telescoping feature. I'm gonna get her restarted. Okay, lower the windows. Check this out. You have the switch right up here. Yeah, you don't need trailer mirrors to add on to that. They do the work for you. Beautiful gauge cluster. There's the 8-inch screen with Sync 3, which works very, very well now. Good audio. Your climate controls are redundant. You have them up here and you have them down here, whichever which way you choose. Phone, all kinds of connectivity and navigation, which is included in my truck. All the apps, there's your Bluetooth and everything else. Random settings, right? You got 12 volts, you even got a plug and storage with USB ports, storage, more storage. Yeah, there's even a safe in here, and my wallet's out of it. Oh, you're wondering what's going on there? No, you're not, because you know that I'm hauling all kinds of stuff. You know what's great about this? Oh, that's the leather. Beautiful material, great fit and finish. Ever wonder what to do? That's right. When it's raining outside and there are two of you, the seat back, which can sit 3 across, folds up flat in a 60-40 or 70-30 configuration. That's right, 70-30. And you can slide in all kinds of stuff. This is actually more trunk space, if you will, than your average crossover. It's nuts. Like I said, there is nothing this truck cannot do. As far as I'm concerned, the best part, Yes, idling, power stroke, diesel engine. I love the sound. All right, enough messing about. Let's go for a drive. It is virtually impossible to drive a truck like this and not feel like an absolute man. I mean, I've driven a number of vehicles that made me feel powerful and strong, you know, give any supercar or other pickups even so, but driving a Super Duty or an HD from other brands it's just on a scale that is completely different. Ford Super Duty, every year when I do get to drive one, I remember why I really love pickups. I mean, as absurd as it may be for me to actually want to pick up, given that I live in the city, I need one. And you know what, the real principal reason for that is that 6.7 liter Power Stroke diesel up front. I mean, it's worth every absolute penny you need to spend to get it. It produces 450 horsepower, 935 pound-feet of torque. I swear to you, I think even when the engine is off, it's producing 200 some odd pounds of torque. The 6-speed automatic transmission on this thing is bulletproof. It's a hard-working unit. Everything works really hard, but at the same time, for such a heavy-duty Super Duty truck, the level of refinement is strange almost. Oh, the ride is not exactly comfortable, but with the slightest load in the bed, you know, I mentioned it, this thing can carry up to 7,600 pounds in the bed, which is essentially the equivalent of the Matrix, that Fusion, and probably about 1/4 of that Saturn Ion behind me could all fit in the bed. Well, not fit, but the truck could actually haul it away if it was possible to do that. And as such, right, it could also tow up to 21,000 pounds. I did a little bit of moving with the truck, as you may have noticed, and even with only about 600 or 700 pounds in the bed, the ride really improves, which is amazing. I mean, yes, obviously the springs are compressed, so there's a little bit more springiness to them, if you will. But even when it's unloaded, as it is right now, it's amazing how well this thing handles it. You know, with the big Michelin knobby truck tires on this thing, you can actually take corners at rates of speed that even the owner of that CX-5 up front would be afraid to take them with. They could handle it, obviously, but man, this truck, and when I do say it can do everything, it seriously can. The steering is really heavy, especially at low speeds. So I guess that's part of that manly feeling, right, you get when you drive it, because you feel like you're working power-free steering. The brakes are immensely powerful as well. I mean, you just, you know, brush against the brake pedal and the thing comes to a full stop. Obviously, it needs to be that strong if you've got nearly 4 tons, metric tons, in the bed, which I'm sure a lot of people do. It's rated at 7,600 pounds, but this thing just feels like it, I mean, it could carry an entire house back there. The sight lines are actually really good on this thing. It's surprising. With the telescoping mirrors, there's actually room to see down there. Okay, so this whole area is enormous, but still, given, you know, the vast expanse of everything around you, you can see pretty well. I mean, I'm not saying that it's easy to drive either, right? When you do go around a corner, you go around the corner. But it's not as difficult as many people would imagine, right? It's not like driving a supercar either. I mean, like driving a McLaren feels, and I'm comparing an F-250 Super Duty to a McLaren. It's a massive, insane supercar, but it drives like a Mazda 3. It can, I should say. This does not drive like a Mazda 3, but it doesn't drive like a semi either. Although it's damn near close to being the same size. These trucks are so refined is a strange word to use for this, especially when you probably see me bouncing around a little bit, but I'm bouncing around, but I'm not, you know, there's no disturbing noises going on. There's no suspension wobble. There's no lateral movements going on in the suspension. This is solidly put together. And I mean, driving this, I've never felt more like wanting to get a fifth wheel trailer and just driving down, again, to Tijuana, as I would with the 6 Series. And camping there, of course. Yeah, Ford Super Duty. It's never a small wonder why these trucks are so popular. Yeah, this is a great, great truck.